Howdy. Welcome to Osgrave Royalty. I am Justin. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, we're going to further wrap things up. You saw the title, Season 2 Postmortem. And it's been a wild ride, and I just wanted to decompress, zoom out, chill out, share my thoughts about where things are, where we're going, details about Season 3 and beyond, and just kind of a life update, channel update, all that stuff. There's a lot to cover, so I'll hop right in. First of all, of course, thank you all so much for those who have checked out more in, like the Season 2 Morin Gillette King Warrior Magician Lover material. I enjoyed making it. I love this stuff, as hopefully is conveyed throughout my videos. It would be really awkward if I didn't love this stuff and yet my channel was covering it. Anyway, I hope y'all maybe find love for it too. I agree with Dr. Anthony Stevens that the magic really happens when at the points of interdisciplinary. So like psychology, mythology, anthropology, sociology, biology, they're all kind of clashing together in beautiful chaos with this archetypal psychology material, of which King Warrior Magician Lover is a standout work, in my opinion. So yeah, I really hope y'all pick up the book or the related books. Links are in the description of all the videos. And it goes without saying, but I'll say it again. I'm not an expert. I'm not an academic. I am an enthusiastic fan of these ideas. So don't take my word for anything. Check out the books. Make up your own mind, of course. I do wish I could have included a lot more about the mythology and more historical examples. These are featured in the books. So please go check that out. I have to, a man's got to know his limitations. I can't, if I were to include everything, I wouldn't be able to hone in on what I feel is the most significant. It's all significant, yes, but from my angle, the message I'm trying to communicate, it's a lot about what you exclude as much as what you include. Yeah, and this paradigm, and that's what it is, a paradigm. It's not a cure-all for any psychological ill-at-ease. It's more of an X-ray. It's a probe that you can use into your own mind, which is very difficult because you're biased against yourself, in my opinion. I've mentioned that on the channel before, Alan Watts's challenge of self-help, that how is the self that needs the help supposed to also be the same self that's doing the helping, right? It's like pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps. This brings a bit more objectivity to a radically subjective enterprise, in short. So we covered a lot about this in the archetypal fundamentals, but if you're having any problem in your life, like psychological kind of problem, and perhaps there's an argument to be made that all problems at roots have psychological origins, thus making this tool all the more valuable, that they all go back to something wrong with your king. Because the king is what is the space creator. It's the boundary setter. It's the visionary. It's the thing that defines and orders your inner kingdom, your boundaries. It orders your life around your vision via the willpower of the warrior and the know-how of the magician. Through all of them working together, they shape the world and your life. So, but the king, no other archetype, warrior, magician, lover, can be healthy if the king is not also healthy. And I think that's pretty intuitive. It's like in a video game. Um, if you're like level capped, it doesn't matter if you have a legendary sword or whatever that's that's trying to make you awesome. If your stats are locked because of your level, they won't raise to what they need to be. That's a poor example, but basically, yeah, if they're and vice versa. So if you lack willpower, which is the realm of the warrior, something has happened with your king. Like the warrior loves the mission. It's all about the mission. Give me a mission, let me do it, and he will kill for you, right? But if there's no mission being given to him, or the mission seems questionable for some reason, he's not going to be mobilized. And that actually goes back to the king. It's like the king is like a manager, you know? Doesn't matter if you have a capable crew, if your ship is just sailing aimlessly, nothing else matters, right? The captain sets, the king sets the boundaries about the big picture. So I would think of all of them as your inner advisors. And what you call the ego, the you, would be like the chairman of the board. And hearing from them allows you to get a grasp on the state of the union, in the inner union, so to speak. And it's not about listening to any of them, like in terms of taking orders. It's about hearing them out and then threading the needle. And it's that last part that sadly the paradigm ends. You're going to have to think about your own practical way to do things to solve your problems. This is more of a tool to find out what the hell the problems are in the first place. And if there's a question of lethargy, it informs you that the warrior might be the thing that's lacking. Or if it's excess and you're gaining a lot of weight, like me, then it's a lover issue. And again, the lover, as we've covered, is the only archetype that doesn't have a boundary. The lover is the one that seeks to explore. It wants to lick everything, as Robert Elmore says. It's boundaryless. That's why it's called the outlaw. And the king and all the other archetypes seek to restrain it in a good way, harness it, more like. Yeah, I think it's valuable. Again, it's a tool in the psychological toolbox. There's a million ways to self-analyze. This is just one of them. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Take it or leave it. Overall, I find it interesting and potentially helpful, and that's enough for me. All right. Let's talk about the growth of the channel. There hasn't been much, but that's fine. I'm still only really concerned with pumping out content for now. And more on that in a bit. Granted, I did start a Twitter and an Instagram, which I'll link below. But I'm already noticing some of the shortcomings, which is like you kind of have to use the platform so that your profile gets visibility. I mean, if I'm just tweeting on my own, it's not as likely, which is an understatement, that any traffic will come my way. Or I'm just ignorant of some stellar strategy to use, which could be the case, which I'm still learning and will spend more time in the future marketing and doing that kind of research. So we'll see what happens. I am very pleased with Season 2. Season 2 being the beginning, basically the Season 2 being starting at the end of Season 1. Sounds commonsensical, but given the titles of my videos and stuff, just to clarify. I don't explicitly say season 1, season 2. Maybe it's not very clear, but I try and go book by book. First was Archetypes by Dr. Anthony Stevens. Season 2, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, Warren Gillette, right? But also, season 2 includes all the rant style videos within that, as well as the comedy videos, as well as the special media videos, which is like my analysis of White Lotus season 2, which I'll talk about more in a moment. But again, while traffic hasn't increased too much, I've been able to take risks. And for veterans of the channel, I'm big on organic growth. Like, I don't know necessarily what the channel wants to be yet. And the only way to know is to kind of give it some breathing room and see what comes up. One of those things were my comedy videos. Another thing was the special media videos. It's things like that if I were too constrained, I wouldn't have been able to implement, right? It's because I left some breathing room that I was able to do that. And I'm very happy. So about the comedy videos, for those who don't know, I have some background in stand-up comedy. I really enjoy writing more than performing, although I don't mind performing. I have a video on my comedy experience for those who want to check that out. But I always had a vision of a kind of Norm Macdonald Weekend Update SNL style delivery, which I'm proud to say I somehow got to my satisfaction. Yeah, I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst either, I don't think. I stand by all my videos, and those will continue every Sunday. I'm very pleased with them. When it comes to the White Lotus Season 2 analysis, it was a spur of the moment. Like, I had always been thinking about doing archetypal analysis on pop culture stuff. But when I saw White Lotus Season 2, so many things jumped out at me that it sort of pushed me into the opportunity. Like the stars aligned, right? Again, nothing like that can occur if I were overworking myself on other things. Again, by leaving the space open for possibilities, I was able to create that video, which I'm patting myself on the back for a little bit, because the temptation is to just go, 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 go. It actually takes a lot of effort not to do something. So I really hope y'all enjoy that video, and it's also more important than that, that video, because it's a new, with every new format, I always say, like, 0 to 1 is always the hardest leap. And then 1 to 2 is easier, 2 to 3 even easier, so on and so forth. Because 0 to 1 is novelty, nothing to something. It's a new thing. And with new things, you don't have the mental preparedness. You know, it was a new format video. And now that the 1 is under my belt, doing more spontaneous media videos like that will be easier from now. Like, I know what to expect, which is very, very valuable. Again, a big success in terms of all the successes that have been with season 2. With the comedy videos, again, I haven't gotten much feedback, but again, I'm pretty pleased with them, so I'm just kind of gonna leave them for now and see what happens. Again, I'm leaving space for feedback. And I think the channel's biggest problem is that the videos are just not getting a lot of eyeballs on them. So I'm not even getting feedback to react to. I've gotten some comments, and they've all been pretty positive. So, yeah, I'm just chugging along. Another reason to focus on content for now. I will say my video on attachment theory blew up. Like for me, it's almost at triple digits as we speak. It's December 17th as I'm recording this. So I need to figure out why. I'm not YouTube savvy enough to know that, know the under the hood stuff. I know there's metrics I can look at, so I'll take a look when I get a chance. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes here. Looking at my notes. Right. All right. So let's talk about season 3. There's a lot to talk about. I mentioned it before, but for season 3, we're covering Jean Boleyn's Gods of Every Man and Goddesses of Every Woman. They're 2 books. Those are the titles. I'll have links below. And she's yet another, TLDR, archetypal psychologist. But this time, she covers the Greco-Roman gods and goddesses and how what they represent, or what they represented for the citizens back then, and their myths, how all that relates to archetypes and archetypal psychology and archetypal impulses. It's the most subjective of the seasons. So as we've gone on, we've gotten more subjective. We started out with Dr. Anthony Stevens' attempt to ground archetypal psychology in the objective, in the sciences, with ethology, biology, and all that. Then we went into the application and an inevitability of going into application with archetypes is subjectivity, an increase in subjectivity. Here we continue that trend even further. So these works are even more for the general public and less scholarly. But I think they're still valuable because I think Boleyn does a good job at making a case as to how the gods and goddesses relate to to various archetypes that she articulates. And I say the more archetypes, the merrier. Often, people may not resonate with King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, but they may resonate with the gods and goddesses, right? And if only one person benefits from that, from that niche specialization, this other paradigm of Boleyn versus Moore and Gillette, then it's worth doing. And the more tools in the psychological toolbox, the better. So that's what's coming for season 3. Now let's talk about an administrative change. I'm reducing the videos to once a week instead of twice a week. And there are many, many reasons for that. And I'm going to go down the list here. I'll try and be brief. What's going to be cut, though, are the rant style videos. And I like those. But it's, I'll get into why I'm reducing it. Primarily, the way I've structured season 3's videos is that half of the video will be regarding Boleyn's work about the gods and goddesses and archetypes and their myths and all that. Then I'll spend the other half of the video reacting to it based on my own life's experiences, and by doing so, hopefully model how one might utilize the information to look inward and extract from that god or goddess's paradigm. Some gods or goddesses I may not identify with at all. Some I may identify with heavily. I've already written the scripts, by the way. So I'll be filming actually right after this video. But yeah, so I figured there's like a mini rant video within the book videos. So that's one reason. And I think it's a good reason. I hope so. Another thing is like I'm seeking more breathing room. And I like to think that it's not that I couldn't continue the pace of 2 videos a week. It's that I have so many other ideas and I sense so many possibilities for the channel that I just want to slow down a little bit at the rate of releasing. This is temporary for season 3. I may continue it for season 4. I don't know the future. I don't know what I don't know. But right now, there are other things I want to try, like more pop culture videos that'll come out of nowhere, which will supplement season 3's material. And of course, the comedy videos every Sunday are also going to continue. So that's a lot of value add that's been happening. So I'm kind of balancing things out. I hope y'all understand that. Another reason is I want to like further develop a presence on the other platforms I mentioned, and I want to make a Patreon and all that. So I'll be working on all that as well, and that takes time. And space will give me that time to do that. I also like have a wild idea to like interview people, and I mentioned this on the channel before. I don't know anything about any of that yet. I have some people I'd like, yeah, of course. Warren Farrell would be my number one. I don't think I'm going to go from 0 to Warren Farrell, but we'll see. You know, it's something on my mind. Again, this will give me the time to explore that possibility. Kind of unrelated, but kind of a fun thing. I'm going to be making a video game. You heard that right. I'm going to be making a video game using Unreal Engine. And for those, you know, I had a video on video games, and I have game design documents that I've made for fun for several games. It's been a long time coming, basically. But I spent some time doing a lot of research on like Unity, Godot, which engine to use. Took me a long time to decide on Unreal Engine. Let me know if y'all want me to make a quick video about my exploration there. But yeah, I'm excited to try that, and I have a gaming channel, which I'll link below. I'm post mainly Gundam Evolution. And I guess it was in season 2, but I actually set up a Twitch and started streaming a bit. I did it for like a week straight, like 2 weeks or so straight, and I liked it. I learned the skill of streaming. The problem is, for all the things I have going on with this channel and everything else, it's just not worth the time right now. Maybe when I have a bigger audience, it'd be a fun thing to do, like Gundam Evolution and hanging out with my viewers, you know, but we're not there yet. But I did go down that rabbit hole, FYI. Anyway, I'm excited to start making a game, and I'll be posting devlogs, developer logs, on my other channel, my gaming channel, just to show where I'm at in learning it. And I'm going to start out making a Battleship clone, like the board game Battleship, and work my way up from there. I got plans, but maybe y'all can test my stuff one day. For the real OGs of Osgrave Royalty, y'all know that I've already built the lore for the Osgrave Royalty universe. So there's so many possibilities there. Kind of running out of time a little bit. I'm going to go really quickly. Covering like another reason is I've got some great things in the works in terms of material for future seasons. So forgive me, I'm going to go quick here, but next I think I'm going to cover Robert L. Moore's work on the archetype of initiation. And those who are familiar with the channel know that initiation and alchemy and all that are my favorite things within the archetypal psychology realm. And that's what got Robert Moore into the field, his study on the archetype of initiation. So I really want to make it, and it'll be really short. It's a short book, so it'll be like a mini season. After that, I have a few books on alchemy, like 4 books, and they're beefy books, packed and rich with material. And I love, love, love alchemy. So after that quick season about initiation, I'll be doing a very dense season on alchemy. That's going to take a lot of time. A lot of time. As of right now, I haven't touched any of that new material. The only stuff I know about alchemy right now is what I've talked about on the channel in my previous videos. So this is going to take my knowledge of that to the next level. Looking forward to that. Another thing is I have several Robert Johnson books I want to cover. He, she, we, and others. Like they're very short books, but they're rich. They're packed with insight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that afterwards. There's a book called Ego and Archetype by Edward Edinger, and it's about the structures of the psyche, which will relate to everything we talk about. Robert Bly's Iron John and the Sibling Society. Robert Bly's a legend in the archetypal psychology field, and it was a contemporary of Robert Moore. After that, there's an anthropological book called Humankind by Peter Farb, which I think is really good. I want to cover after that Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics and Applied Economics. I'm a huge fan of Thomas Sowell. After that, I really, really, really want to cover de Tocqueville's Democracy in America. I think it's a great work, and it's somehow overlooked a lot. I'm really excited about that. I've always wanted to read that. It's post-Revolutionary War, but pre-Civil War. And it's from a Frenchman visiting the U.S. in its kind of infancy. Some might say it's like utopian golden era, small government. I'm an anarcho-capitalist, so there's an argument to be made. Maybe it was the closest thing to anarcho-capitalist that the world has ever seen. I would obviously be very interested in such a thing. So yeah, that's what I have planned. I just want to say I really do hope y'all are enjoying these videos. I've been getting good feedback, so I'm going to just keep going and going. And I don't know what I don't know. I want to leave breathing room. That's kind of the theme of everything. See what happens. Embrace that organic growth. Embrace the possibilities that I see in front of me when they appear. And not deny them. And have the space to receive them, basically. And I know the material is going to get more subjective before it gets more objective, which can make my channel seem new agey and goofy and corny. I don't give a shit. It's what I'm interested in, and I think there's an abundance. There's plenty of objective stuff out there. I'm embracing the subjective, whatever. For now, you know. But anyway, history will be the judge, I suppose, on how that goes for the channel. So yeah, I'm really glad y'all stopped by and we got to take this moment to go over everything. Looking forward to y'all's feedback. Maybe I'll see y'all on some of the other platforms. Let me know if y'all have any ideas for me. And see y'all in Season 3, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.